This is my story. Day I was born, the biggest rainbow appeared over the hospital, and my parents thought that I was really special. They always treated me like a princess. Mommy, I want an airplane. And the very next day, my room was full of all the toy airplanes my parents could find. I always felt loved and had everything in the world, but sometimes I couldn't help wishing I had someone to share it all with. Mommy, I want a little sister. Oh, baby, trust me, you don't need anyone. Our lives are perfect just the way they are. But only they weren't. Soon after that day, I'd often hear Mom and Dad fighting with each other, and I noticed they started to drift apart. So I tried my best to keep them together. Mom, Dad, you guys want to watch a movie with me? Your dad's busy, but I can go with you. Maybe we can go tomorrow when you're both free? I think it's just better if we go on our own, love. And my biggest nightmare came true when I turned 14, and my parents announced that they were getting a divorce. It crushed my heart. Mom decided to move back to her hometown in Missouri, and since Dad was moving away for work, I had no other choice but to go with Mom. But the minute we got there, I got the shock of my life. Mom was freaking rich! She owned a huge house and farms in the town. Mom, how come you never told me about any of this? Well, I just didn't think it was that important. But this was huge to be kept from me, and turns out that wasn't the only secret she had. Later that evening, I was taking a walk across the grounds when suddenly my legs got caught in a rope and I fell down in cow poop. What the heck? Just then, I saw a girl my age running towards me, and she stumbled and fell too. Ouch, my butt! Hey, are you okay? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was practicing rope throwing, and I didn't see you there. That was you? Ugh! Now get me out of this! Okay, hold your horses. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is, this is the best knot I ever made, and I might have a chance at winning at the rodeo this year. But the bad news is, I have no idea how to undo it. What? Are you crazy? Cut it or something. She ran away to look for something and came back with her mom. But just as the lady was untying me, Mom came running and pulled her away. What did you do to my daughter? Get away from her. Lily? What are you doing here? It's my home too. I can come here anytime I want. And from what I've heard, you've been running the farm at a loss, so I thought I should come look into it. Oh, so you just turn up out of nowhere to tell me my business? I'm shocked you're even showing your face here after what you did. Christy, shut up. Mom took my hand and pulled me out of there. That's when I learned this lady was Mom's sister, Christy, and that girl was my cousin, Nancy, and they lived in the house next to ours. And you didn't think this was important to tell me too? What else are you hiding? Do you have another husband and kids too? Eden. I had so many questions, but she was refusing to answer any, and it was driving me mad. So I called Dad to ask, but he just said, "Oh, honey, I can't tell you much, but just remember, your mom needs you." I had no idea what he meant by that, and I was so annoyed at all these secrets. So I just stormed out of the house and went towards the fields. But suddenly, I noticed one of the scarecrows in the fields was moving. Holy freaks! I screamed and started running away, but the scarecrow kept following me, and suddenly, it fell on the ground. Ouch! My knees! Nancy, why are you dressed like that? I can't tell you that. My mom told me to stay away from you. Oh, yeah? Then what are you doing here talking to me? I thought you were hurt when you screamed, so I came to check up on you, but now I'll have to go. Bye! Nancy, wait! I thought she'd know what was going on between my mom and my aunt, but turns out she was just as unaware as me. I offered to be friends with her, and she agreed, as long as we kept it a secret from our moms. Now, tell me, why were you actually here? My friends dared me to do this all night, but then they all left me here. She was really innocent and super funny, and always made me laugh so hard by mimicking the animals at the farm. At night, she'd sneak into my room with homemade cookies, and we'd eat them together while watching our favorite videos. By the time summer was over, we were BFFs, and when Mom enrolled me into the same school as Nancy, we both were super excited because now we didn't have to meet in secret. But at school, I learned that Nancy was really naive, and a lot of people took advantage of her. Nancy, you shouldn't be doing your friend's homework. It's all right, Eden. My friends say practice makes a man perfect, and if I write all these things so many times, I'll become a genius. Sometimes she'd make me want to bang my head against a wall. But at home, it was much worse with Mom and Aunt's constant fighting. I've been making the decisions regarding the crops all these years. Why did you sell this lot without even asking me? 'Cause you're dumb and we're suffering losses, so I need to take charge. Suddenly, Aunt Christy picked some tomatoes and threw them right into Mom's face. Soon, the view looked like a tomatina festival, and out of nowhere, Nancy threw a tomato at me too. What the heck? Come on, it's fun. It'll convince them we hate each other too. Join in. God, she was crazy. A few nights later, Nancy and I decided to go out for a movie, and we had a blast. Oh my God. It was my first time in a movie hall, and I loved it so much. We should totally do it again. But then suddenly, a stray dog came barking at us, and before I could move, Nancy jumped over the fence and ran at the speed of light, leaving me behind. I wasn't as fast, and the dog caught my skirt and ripped it. Just then, a guy came running and shooed the dog away. Hey, are you okay? He helped me off the ground, and I couldn't help noticing how cute he was. He had patches of white hair all over his head, and it looked gorgeous, like art. He introduced himself as Randy, and when he saw me looking at his hair, he explained it was because of a condition called poliosis. Oh, I see. Well, it looks good. Thanks, and here, take this. He took off his jacket and wrapped it around my waist. I hope you'll feel more comfortable now. Cute and such a gentleman. He then walked me back home, and as we talked, it turned out he was a senior at school and a national-level baseball player. When we reached home, Nancy was waiting for me at the doorstep, but as soon as she saw me, she ran to her house. And now I wasn't going to talk to her either. Later that night, as I was sleeping, I suddenly woke up to see Nancy waving a torch in my face. What the heck is wrong with you? What the heck is wrong with you? Why were you with that jerk, Randy? You know him? Yeah, he's a bad guy, and you need to stay away from him. When I asked her to explain more, she refused to tell me and ran away. The next day, I saw Randy in the cafeteria, and I was curious to know if he also knew her, so I asked him. Nancy? Doesn't ring a bell. But before I could ask more, someone dumped an entire tray of food over me. Nancy! What is the matter with you? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just slipped. Well, obviously, I knew she didn't, but I didn't want to make a scene, so I just ran to the washroom to clean up. But the moment I stepped out, Randy was waiting there for me with a change of clothes. I had some clean clothes in my locker. They'll be too big, but they should work for now. This guy was just perfect, but I had no idea why Nancy was behaving this way. So that night, I went to see Nancy and forced her to tell me why she hated me getting along with Randy. And she gave me the most shocking reply. 'Cause he's into guys. What? Yeah, I knew his secret, but I didn't want to be the one to break it to anyone. That's why I lied to you that he's a bad guy, so you'd keep away from him and won't get your heart broken. She then showed me pictures of him laughing and holding hands with a guy in a park. What? You could have just told me sooner, you know. I tried to, but you were pissed at me for running away. I'm really scared of dogs because I got bit by one when I was 5. Oh, Nancy. I told her not to hide things from me anymore, and I was so glad to have my bestie back. From the next day, I started avoiding Randy whenever I'd see him around school. But one time, he caught me on my way back home. I have no idea why you've been avoiding me, but if I've made a mistake, you should let me know. No, Randy, it's not like that. He then told me it was his birthday, and he invited me to the carnival happening in town. At first, I was hesitant, but then I remembered how nice he'd been to me, and I decided to be a good friend at least. Later that night, when I joined him, I realized it was just the two of us, but we had a blast. We played so many games together, and Randy won a giant teddy bear for me. After that, we went on the Ferris wheel, and when we reached the top, Randy held my hand and pulled me in for a kiss. Randy, get away from me! I'm sorry. I thought you liked me too, and... I do. I did, until I found out you like guys. What? Who told you that? I told him about those pictures, and he burst out laughing. Oh my God, who took those? That's my cousin who visited me quite a while ago, and I was holding his hand on our walk because he's blind. I'm not into boys. I like girls, okay? I really like you. And suddenly, I realized I got played by Nancy, that little witch. Later when I got home, I stormed off to Nancy's place and went straight to her room. I can't believe I trusted you and you lied to me. You did this because you like Randy too, right? Yes, I liked him too, but... Before she could say more, I jumped onto her and we broke into a wild fight. And soon our moms came running to separate us. Girls, stop it. What's going on? I told Mom all that happened, and Aunt Christy started to laugh hysterically. So, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I guess. I knew you'd be just like your mother, stealing boyfriends as usual. What did she mean by that? Mom, please stop it. But Aunt went on to tell us that my dad was originally her boyfriend, but Mom made him fall for her. Their parents asked Mom to dump my dad so the sisters could stop fighting, but instead she ran away with him and never came back. I have apologized to you a million times. I'm sorry I hurt you, but we really loved each other. He was my boyfriend. You had no business loving him, and I'm never forgiving you for that. I watched Mom's eyes fill with tears as Aunt Christy asked us to leave. Later at home, I asked Mom if she regretted marrying Dad. No, I don't regret it at all, sweetie. Your dad gave me the best years of my life, but sometimes good things also come to an end. I just wish it hadn't cost me my family. I was too young and stupid to not consider my sister's feelings. I hugged her tight and comforted her, and the next day, I knew just what to do. I walked up to Nancy's room and told her I was going to stay away from Randy. I don't want a boy coming between us. Oh, Eden, it's all my fault. Like I said, I also liked Randy, but my friend showed me all those pictures and I believed them and thought he's gay, and I've lost feelings for him now. But you threw all your food over me that day. I thought you were jealous. It was a genuine accident, I swear. I'm happy if you guys like each other. Oh my God, my little sister was such an innocent baby. But there was one more pair of sisters that we had to reunite, and I had just the perfect plan for it. I called Dad and told him everything and asked him to come visit us. Thank you so much for coming, Dad. You don't have to thank me, honey. I should have done this sooner and made things easier for your mom. We then walked towards the fields where both our moms were working, and they looked super shocked to see Dad. What are you doing here? I'm here to apologize to you, Christy. I was the one who fell in love with your sister first, and I was the one who broke your heart. So don't resent her so much, and please forgive both of us. Yeah, I'm sorry too, Christy. Really and truly. I could see tears in Aunt's eyes as she hugged Mom, and Nancy and I joined in too. After what felt like a lifetime, I saw Mom and Dad smiling at each other, and it made my heart so full. We should never give up on people we love. They are always worth the fight.
It was the first day of 8th grade, and my best friend Jenna and I were pumped. We wanted to make this year the best yet, but as soon as we stepped foot into the classroom, the school's meanest girl tripped Jenna. The witch had been green with envy ever since Jenna was chosen to be head cheerleader, which rarely happens to 8th graders. How dare you! Leave it, Maeve. She's not worth it. Fine. I could have taught that bully a lesson then and there. But guys, revenge is a dish best served cold. The next day, I used my tech skills to hack into her phone and started sending messages to the class's group chat. All those days of coding summer camp finally paid off. The phones were buzzing and then everyone started to laugh. Wow, washing her hair with cow poop? That's nasty. Are you like trying to have a movie night without me? What is happening? Give me this. Oh my God, the principal's office, now. I'm not doing this. It must be a ghost. It was hilarious to watch her suffer. Revenge was sweet. Jenna laughed when she realized I was behind the prank. Seeing her smile made it all worth it. We'd been BFFs since 6th grade, always finishing each other. their sentences, and dreaming of MSA stars. We were two peas in a pod, but everything changed for the worse right before high school. Hi, I'm Maeve from New York. Join me on my roller coaster life and subscribe to MSA. You might find money in your pocket. All my life, I've put others' needs before my own. No matter what situation I was in, even if I was scared and terrified myself, I always helped the other person out, including Jenna. Jenna and I became friends when we were in 5th grade. We were out on a camping trip when she suddenly screamed. A giant spider was on her shoulder. Jenna, calm down. I got this. I was terrified, but I mustered up my courage and threw the spider away. Oh my God, you're my hero. Thank you so much. My heart was beating a million miles a minute, but I was proud of myself for helping her. Jenna and I soon became friends. Even though Jenna was super rich, she never bragged about it. She was humble and kind, always looking out for me. Our friendship only kept getting stronger, and we became besties. But everything changed the day Jenna told me that she'd gotten admission into a well-known prep school in California. It was Jenna's dream to go to Stanford University, and that prep school was a ticket to her fulfilling her dream. I was sad, but happy for Jenna. I missed her. So I decided to work hard and get a scholarship in the same school. I succeeded, but I kept my admission a secret so I could surprise Jenna. On my first day, I was excited to be there. I was walking towards the entrance when I saw a very good-looking guy and got distracted. As a result, I bumped into a girl. Oh, I'm so sorry. Can you tell me where I can find Jenna? Oh, her? She just left school a week ago. What the heck? Left school? I immediately called Jenna, but when she didn't answer, I went to her address. Oh my God, Maeve, you really got into this school? I'm so happy for you, but it didn't work out for me. Jenna, but why? You were so excited to be in this school. Maeve, I made a very stupid mistake. A couple of weeks ago, this guy Caleb at school made a bet, and I might have done something bad. Like what? I used super glue to seal all the locks at school, but the thing is, he made me do it. He was with me when we were doing the prank. Then he somehow got the CCTV video from the principal's office, and since his face was hidden, he couldn't get into trouble. Caleb then gave me two options. Either I leave school on my own, or he'd show the video to the principal, ruining my chances for Stanford. Why did you listen to that jerk in the first place? 'Cause I wanted to fit in, have friends, but you know, he smiled and waved goodbye when I was leaving school. He ruined everything for me. Jenna was a sobbing mess, so I skipped school to be with her. We watched all the Timothée Chalamet movies, and then Jenna had an idea. Maeve, bestie, why don't we get him expelled? He needs to know how it feels. And how are we supposed to do that? Be his friend, get close to him, and find his weaknesses and use it against him. You know how it goes in all teen revenge movies? Movies, not real life, Jenna. But I could get the video from his phone, the CCTV one. I'll delete it, and you can come back to school. He won't have anything on you. Fine. But let's focus on mission get Caleb expelled. It'll be fun. I wasn't gonna get Caleb expelled, but I was gonna teach him a lesson. I wanted it for my best friend, so I agreed. Even though my mom had gotten me a room at a hostel, I moved in with Jenna because she insisted. The next day, I walked into school only to run into the handsome guy from before. Calm down, calm down.
Hey, you're Maeve, right? I was supposed to show you around the school, but I couldn't find you yesterday. Want to do it now?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. I'm Caleb, by the way.
Did he just say Caleb? Perfect. I smiled and shook his hand. Caleb took me around and introduced me to his friends. I tried to be nice and make a good impression. The guy was funny and popular. He was also an all-around star, excelling at school, swimming, skating, and even a self-proclaimed feminist.
You go, girl. You can do it.
Too good to be true. I had to find out the truth about Caleb. I followed Caleb for a week and noticed he always kept his phone in the locker when he went swimming after classes. I went to the locker room late one night and opened his locker. As I reached for his phone, a hand grabbed my shoulder and I screamed.
What the?
I think I got lost. This school is so big. I was looking for the girls' locker room.
And you missed that sign?
Suddenly, my mind went blank and I was scrambling for an excuse. Caleb, can I join you and your friends at the party this weekend? Everyone's going and I'm not invited, but you and your friends have been so nice to me since I arrived here. Can I please come with you?
Oh, yeah, sure, definitely.
Phew, that was close. Caleb bought my lie, thankfully. Caleb then offered to walk me home and I agreed. He had his skateboard but kept walking by my side. I asked asked him to teach me how to skate, and he said he would someday. On our way, he told me about his dad's wish for him to go to Stanford University and how hard he was working to make his dad proud. Just then, it started to rain. Caleb grabbed his jacket and held it over our heads as we ran to the nearest store for shelter. Being so close to him made my heart race. This was the first time I'd been this close to a guy. As soon as the rain stopped, I said goodbye to him and rushed to Jenna's house. The minute I got there, however, Jenna looked mad.
Caleb's jacket? You were with him?
He just walked me home, that's all.
Fine. Just remember, he's the enemy. You can't fall for him. You're on my side, right, May?
Duh. The next couple of days, I hung out with Caleb and his friends. They seemed nice. I liked Caleb, but I still wanted him to drop his nice guy act. So I pranked him. I filled his locker with wet swimming trunks and put a fake cockroach under his food, but he never showed his true self.
This is hilarious. Who did this?
One time during a test, I threw an answer sheet near Caleb's foot, hoping the teacher would spot it and think he was cheating. But it got stuck under the teacher's shoe and went unnoticed. Lucky duck. Another time, I created a fake dating profile for Caleb, one that made him look like an avid nose picker and a fan of farting competitions and burping. Little did I know that the girls would go crazy for him, and Caleb, well, he didn't look too keen on getting the attention. Oh my god, Caleb, you're so down to earth. Farting and burping, it's natural. Caleb, you like this? Seriously?
May, thank God. I gotta go, girls. I have a date with May, right?
What? Yeah. He then dragged me out of the school and we went to a nearby skate park to hide from his fangirls. It was only then that he took a deep breath.
Don't ask. Wasn't gonna.
We stayed there for some time, and as I was trying out some skating moves, Caleb offered to teach me. I nodded and he took my hand, helping me onto his skateboard. He kept his hands on my waist, guiding me as I nervously tried to skate. I'm gonna fall. Don't let me go.
I won't, and you're doing great.
Right then, I felt his warm breath on my neck. I turned and looked into his eyes. I felt my heart skip a beat. He smiled and leaned in, and before I knew it, our lips were touching. The next thing I knew, I was kissing Caleb. Oh, no, no, no. I ran from there, and once back at Jenna's place, I locked myself in my room and cried. I couldn't fall for Caleb. I had promised Jenna. I had to make Caleb pay for what he did to her. The opportunity came soon when the next day, I accidentally saw something no one should ever see. I saw our principal remove his wig and scratch his sweaty bald head. It was gross, but I was gonna use that to my advantage. I immediately took out my phone and recorded the best video ever. He had his wig off and did all his work until someone knocked and he rushed to put it back on. This was gold. I then used the library computer and logged in with Caleb's ID card so it could be traced back to him, and uploaded the video on the school's official website. It soon spread like wildfire, and before I knew it, Caleb was called to the principal's office.
I can't believe someone would go this far to prank him. He's such a good guy.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't get it. Who's doing this to him? Maybe someone who Caleb might have bullied? You know, karma's a witch and always comes back to bite you.
What? Caleb is like the nicest guy. First, someone was trying to pin that super glue incident on him, and now this? I'm so scared. He might actually get expelled for real this time.
What? Someone tried to pin that incident on Caleb, but Jen told me a whole other story. Something wasn't adding up. It was at that moment I realized how I was just playing with Caleb's future without knowing his side of the story. I rushed to the principal's office and found Caleb standing there with his head down. It was now or never. It was me who put that video up, sir, not Caleb. It was just a harmless prank, but I realized it was very wrong.
Maeve, stop lying. It was me, sir, not her.
What the heck was he doing? We went back and forth until the principal was fed up and sent us away after deciding that both of us were suspended for 2 weeks. The minute we got out, I was ready to apologize, but what Caleb said left me stunned.
I can't believe you went to this extent because of Jenna.
What?
I know you're Jenna's friend, Maeve. She often talked about you. I even saw a couple of her pics on Insta before she blocked me from it. So tell me, what did my lovely sister tell you?
Sister?
Half sister, actually. Same dad, different moms.
Wow. So you basically blackmailed your own sister to leave this school, didn't you?
I did what? I can't believe it. She hates me so much, she tried to get me expelled by claiming her prank was mine, but she forgot about the camera. When she was caught, she threw a huge fit. Her dad paid for the damages and kept us apart.
You're lying. Jenna isn't that kind of person.
I thought so too.
I ran straight to Jenna's house. I asked her about Caleb being her half-brother, and the color drained from her face. OMG, you used me to get revenge when he's nothing but nice? Ugh, not you too, Maeve. I can't stand another person praising him. You're my best friend, and you're supposed to hate my enemy.
That's not how friendships work, Jenna.
How dare you come here? I hate you, May. I never told you this, but when my dad left Mom and me, I was just a kid. When he finally reached out again, I found out he had a family in California, and I was really angry. I wanted to go to Stanford to prove to him that I was worth his love. But then, he was also there, and I just wanted him gone. I hate him so much.
Jenna, come on. We may be half-siblings, but that doesn't mean we can't still be family. Don't say stuff like that.
Shut up! Stop it, Jenna. For God's sake, just stop it. I can't believe this. You dragged me into your family drama? I am done with you. I ran out of Jenna's house crying. I had never been this upset or angry before. I had no idea what to do or where to go. I was about to call my mom when...
Maeve, I know you're upset right now, but I want you to know that I understand. Jenna and I have our own issues, but she's still my sister, and I'm sure if you talk to her, she'll come around.
I knew Caleb was right, but I still needed to cool off, so I headed back to school and later moved back into the hostel. I threw myself into my studies and tried to get my mind off the Jenna drama. In no time, Caleb and I were back to being friends, and I felt much more comfortable around him. But I also really missed my friend. Even though Jenna tried to get in touch and apologize, I still needed some time and space. To cheer me up one day, Caleb offered to take me to the carnival, and I had a great time. Caleb suggested we go to the Ferris wheel together. Just as I sat down, I saw Jenna there. What? Before you get mad, please hear me out. I really am sorry, Maeve. I shouldn't have lied to you and made you do all those things. But you're my best friend, and I miss you so much. I've been talking to Caleb to sort out our differences, and it'll take time, but we'll eventually get there. And it's all because of you. I never want to lose you, May. What you did was wrong, but I'm glad you and Caleb are working on it. To be honest, even though I was mad at you, there's not a day I didn't miss you. Come here. Once the ride was over, Caleb met us, and the first thing I did was punch him in the shoulder, and then all three of us hugged.
My name is Prince. 2 years ago, our school started a program.
Adidas.
2 years ago, our school started a program called...
Please, can we go to a less noisy place and do this? Okay, I think here's better.
Yeah, it's good.
Alright, so let's start.
Hi, my name is Prince.
My name is Princess.
I know what you guys are thinking, maybe we're twins.
We're not even blood related. 2 years ago, our school started a program called The Worst Class. This is a process where they put students with low grade, bad characters, and underachievers in one class.
The purpose of this program was to give special attention to these students. I don't know whose idea it was, but it's definitely not a good one. Chai! I know what you guys are thinking. What are these two smart and intelligent children doing in the worst class? We resumed school late, so we were put in the worst class as a temporary measure. And when I was to be transferred to a new class, I objected because I have made wonderful friends.
Plus, he's an underachiever. Now sit back and relax while we introduce you to few students in our class. First on my list, for Alan.
AKA Techno. Techno is a kind of child that you will see and you'll be like, oh, so poor innocent Abino. I hope they are not bullying him. But the truth is, Techno is actually the bully.
Techno, leave the ball! Techno, leave the ball! Techno!
Shut up!
Techno once slapped our teacher, but he didn't do it intentionally. A girl called him an albino, and she was standing next to the teacher.
Albino. Who said that thing?
Techno doesn't really see much, so...
Ladies and gentlemen, meet George, aka Slow Dog. We don't call him Slow Dog because he's a rapper or a singer. We call him Slow Dog because he walks slow, he looks slow, he talks slow, he even acts slow.
The only time he's fast is when he sees food.
Yo.
And he's a blockhead. Yes, everybody in that class is a blockhead. But Slow Dog's case is special. During our last exams, our teacher allowed him to write with his textbooks. But guess what?
He still failed. He said he used English textbook to answer math questions and social studies textbook to answer agro question. There's just no hope for Slow D.
Go to school! Go to school! Your mate are here! You want to remain at home and finish my food? Let me see you at home. Come on, go to school!
Ladies and gentlemen, meet John, aka Schoolboy.
They call him Schoolboy, but the last place he wants to be is in school.
Leave me alone! Meet Ikechukwu, aka Adidas, the world's most annoying human being on earth. He plays too much, he talks too much.
Why do you hate him so much?
I don't hate him, he's annoying.
Shut up. My friend, go to your seat.
Uncle, he put book in his bum.
You put book in your bum. Come back here. So you are not forming actor for me. Come here. My friend, come here. Do you think I have a time? Oh, it's even textbook you put in your bum. The basic science. I will give you the basic. And who can tell me the name of the president of Liberia? Okay, you in glasses?
George Weah.
Wonderful. Clap for her.
Just looking at success, you'll be asking, what is a brilliant girl doing in such a class? Success is a classic example of an underachiever. She will answer all the questions in class, but when it comes to assignments and exams, she will score 0.
We believe her case is spiritual. Even though corporal punishment has been abolished in schools, our teachers have been given green lights to use any force necessary to make us good students in the society. They are allowed to use cane, koboko, 2x2, bamboo. Basically, any force that can be used to make the worst class students useful. Okay, that one is not yet approved. They are still discussing it in the school board.
Hi, my name is Prince.
My name is Princess.
Welcome to the worst class.
Next on High School Worst Class.
Sir? If I tell you the opposite of host, will I go and sit down?
You go and see that. What's the opposite of host?
Chief host.
Chief host. Chief host. Chief host. Front jump.
Holy Ghost.
Hey. Holy Ghost. Join him.